Okay. How are you guys doing today?
Excellent.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to head back to Fez.
Oh, we all are.
Nice. So yeah, let's. We were thinking about topics to cover for this month, and not just for this, but for the podcast in general. And we've been doing kind of series of episodes, and we haven't really focused on Fez. It certainly shows up in lots of places, but in terms of like real dedicated series of episodes. So that's why we thought, hey, it's time. Let's talk some more about Fez. And yeah, it brings back great memories because we were there, my family and I, just over a year ago now, and it was one of the most memorable stops of our trip. It was amazing being right in the heart of the Medina and experiencing it all. We were there for 3 days. And you guys, of course, were there too last summer on your big tour as well. So it's fresh memories for all of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we figured we'd do a little bit of kind of a bit of background history, what makes Fez so unique and special and things like that. But yeah, we'll also talk about some practical tips, things people can see and do. This follows up a bit on our most recent episode, which came out March 11th, which is also a bit of an overview of Fez. That was more structured around, say, if you had a 4-day itinerary and 4 days basically and what you could do. So we're going to kind of expand on that, and I'm sure a lot of this will go together, and much of it's thanks to the questions we've had from our listeners and viewers. So thanks very much, people, for sending stuff in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I made a few notes about some history, but of course you guys know more than me, so you can fill in some of the gaps. But I was interested. Well, tell me if this is true. So I learned that the city's name may refer to the Arabic word for pickaxe. Have you heard that before?
Yes.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
One of the stories. Yeah.
Okay. So, and this goes back, 1,200, 1,300 years or something? I mean, we're talking a long time ago.
Okay, when you ask Sam, please be specific because he can go back beyond
Sure.
1200 years.
Yes.
His books are different than everybody else's books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's not already 12 centuries because we talk about a country, not about a city.
Mhm.
So Fes is a city in Morocco. So Morocco dated back to the more than 20,000 years ago.
Mm.
So we can't just specify a country or a city in just the coming of the Idrisi dynasty to Morocco to talk about this and to give it its name exactly, which is uh, pickaxe or something like that, or just
Mhm.
a name of a hat for Fes. So the name is not correct, absolutely, because it has a name before even the Idrisid came to Morocco from the Middle East.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's interesting context too, and I mean, it's easy to say, well, 1,000 or 1,300 years ago, of course, is a long time, but in the context of 20,000, 30,000 years, it's practically yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But all that being said, I mean, I think in modern terms, it is one of the older maybe settlements with an ongoing footprint, you could say, in Morocco. Like it's been settled, all those many centuries. So I do remember when we were there, in our part of our walking tour, and I think I'll try to pull up a map here too, maybe because we can share a screen and stuff. I'll look into that. But
Yeah.
I remember a bit of the river that goes through the old part of the city, the old Medina, which is the River of Fez. And a lot of it's kind of hidden underground and stuff now, but there's parts where it pops out. And originally the city was founded on both sides of this river, and it kind of
Yes.
eventually grew into one big city, really, as we know now.
Yes, that's right. That's correct. So
Yeah.
the name maybe comes from the name of the river, which is called Zez. Zez. This is where the word comes from, Zez, or also came from the Berber or the Amazigh word Fes, which is the right side of the river. And Fes
Okay.
also comes from the right side of the river, which means Fes. Fes, which means the right hand. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Well, let me see if we can pull this up. So here's a map of Fez or Google Maps. Actually, let me zoom out even more because you can really picture where it is in the country. A lot of people might know, but it's in the north of the country, kind of east northeast of Rabat. There, Casablanca, Marrakesh is way over here. So Fez is up here, and when we zoom in, you can see a little bit of the river coming through here, and as I say, part of it's underground. And when I was reading, yeah, there's streams. It's not like just one river, but there's different parts, I guess, that kind of blend into one. So that's the heart of the old original city that's going back all those
Yeah.
centuries ago. Yeah.
Yes.
And nowadays it's expanded out to here. You'll hear us talk about the Ville Nouvelle, the new city, which is over here,
Yeah.
and that's much more recent, right? In the last 100 years or so.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So that gives us some context. We'll probably refer back to that again.
And also Fas is located between the Atlas Mountains and then the Reef Mountains. So it's the location is really really unique
Mm-hmm.
location. So
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Right. So let's see what else we can find here. So the famous, but there's a lot of mosques, of course, but it's fair to say the famous one is the Carouine Mosque, Al Carouine Mosque
It's definitely it's
University.
one of the,
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of the oldest. Some say it's the oldest in the world, but Sam
Mm.
can enlighten us and give us more information about it.
Yeah, sure. The Qarawiyyin University used to be a mosque in the beginning, and then when the Idrisid comes to Morocco, they took Fes as the capital. Then the Qarawiyyin University started to be like a madrasa or Quranic school. Then they developed to be a university because all the Moroccans and other Islamic countries, okay, they came to Fes to learn and about the religion, especially
Mm.
from this university. This is how it became a university and the first one in the world.
Hmm. Yeah. Interesting. So it's still going strong today.
Yes, and this it's still maintained today. And right now in Morocco, they created like affiliates for this university in each big city in Morocco. Like for example, in Marrakesh, we have Kulliyat Sharia or the College of Islamic Religion Studies. In Agadir, we have it in Rabat, we have it in Tangier, we have it everywhere in Morocco, and all they belong to the mother university, which is Al Qarawiyyin.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know how many like students would be there these days?
These days, and I don't have an exact number,
Yeah.
but I think it would be like over 20,000
Oh, wow. Yeah.
because it's so big. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Interesting. So let's see. Let's bring it up so people get a sense of where this is. Um, I'll zoom out again. So again, we're in the old Medina here, and it's highlighted. So just kind of maybe north, just above the middle of the Medina is where you'd find the university here. You
Yeah.
can see some pictures. It's one of those recognizable sites. Can you guys see the pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 So the green roof stands out. I remember that, and the tower, the minaret. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
And then, yeah.
go ahead, please.
Well, that's it. Go ahead.
No, just when you're trying to go, just plan it ahead of time. Because they close a little bit early. So just in case if you're doing something in the afternoon, make sure you plan it early afternoon because sometimes they do close early. So
Yeah.
you can take advantage of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you need? Well, that's a good question. Let's talk a bit about like if people want to visit. Is it open to the public? Can people go in and do a tour?
Nah, for Moroccans, it's open. They can get inside anytime, especially
Okay.
to the mosque, to the part of the mosque. But for the tourists, for the travelers, no, it's not
Okay.
allowed to get inside. Especially, it's not a visited mosque. No.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Can
also
you see? Yeah.
you have to be dressed appropriately
Yes. Yes.
for you to go in. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Can you see much from the outside when you walk around?
you can
That's
see a
right.
little bit. Yeah, you can see a
Yes.
little bit. You can
Yes.
take pictures.
Yeah.
You can. They might let you just take few steps maybe, but you
Yes.
won't get into the court. I mean, the courtyard you're not going to be able to go into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Right. And then now here's another thing. So I was reading that by the 12th century, Fez was one of the largest cities in the world, around 200,000 people, they say,
Yeah.
which is massive for that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another one of the famous things is the madrasa, the Buenania
Well,
madrasa,
Buenania. Yeah. Buenania Madrasa. Yes.
which I
Which is
think.
created by the Saadian
Over
dynasty
here.
during
Right,
their
right, right.
roles in Fez. Yeah.
Right. Oh, I remember that because when we were there, we walked through one of the famous gates.
yes. Yep. Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah,
The
and
blue
this
gates.
gate, just to give the audience a little bit of perspective, this is what we talked about.
Oh,
The
yeah.
color of Fez, the color for Fez is the blue, and this is basically what this is the blue color of Fez. So
Right.
when you walk through that gate and you turn around, you'll see the same thing, but instead of the blue color, it's the green color, and the green color, that's it. So the
Yeah.
green
Cool.
color, it's
Yeah.
for Islam and peace. So
Right.
yeah, yeah,
And that's one of
very
those famous views when you're going into the city, to the Medina, and you see the minaret there in the madrasa,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. From there, you head directly to the Qarawiyyin and to the tanneries and so on and so forth.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me zoom out a bit here again. It's when you see it overhead from like the camera view, it's this big maze, mess of houses
It
and
is. It is. So
and roofs and everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
when you talk, downtown and you talk 10,000 streets, that's what it looks like.
Hmm.
I see you
Fascinating.
lost somewhere.
It's a puzzle. Yeah. It's labyrinth. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I mean, is it fair to say that there are some people, locals, who would never get lost? Like they'd always know where they are?
Impossible.
Okay.
Me, I
Impossible.
get lost many times, by the way. I visited Fez so many times, and
Yeah.
every time I get lost there. It's impossible to know the whole Medina, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I want to talk about the Jewish Mellah,
Yeah.
which is near the royal palace, right?
Yeah. It's some
Yeah,
part of it is attached to the royal palace on one side, and
yes.
across the street, which is, it's a small street, and you can see it, and it's incredible.
Hmm.
And the Mellah was placed, next to the royal palace to, that way there's a protection from the king at that
Yes,
time, so nobody bothers
Oh,
the
yeah.
Jewish community at that time. So
yes.
when we did the visit last time in the summer, then the previous time, I mean, it's an incredible sight, and it's a must see.
Mm.
We recommend seeing it either early morning, which is really quiet, and then the sunlight is a little bit bright, not too shiny, not too hot,
Mm.
and that sunlight, it reflects on that metal on those doors. That is just it's incredible. Then
Mm.
you can do the sunset, visit as well, and it's just very beautiful right there. Yeah, very
Yep.
beautiful, very romantic. It's just extremely important. I mean, we
That's a
were
good
very
one.
lucky, and you can see the sunlight,
Yes,
the reflection of it. It's magical. Then on the sides between the doors, you'll see some Quranic recitation. You see a
yes,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
speech, by the late King Hassan II, I believe. And then the attention to detail in the mosaic, the brass, uh, the marble, it's just beyond incredible. And it has
Oh,
seven doors that,
wow.
symbolizes the seven heavens, and it's magical. And
Oh,
then
you get a sense. Yeah.
if you look at
Yeah.
that one that you have, Ted, on the left hand side, that's where you're going to see the guards. They're 24/7. And then
Okay.
you'll see some stores on the first level, which is attached to the king's palace. Then across the street, that's where the Jewish quarter starts.
yeah,
And,
Right.
and
exactly.
if you're not from Morocco, Right there, yeah, that's it. So that's attached. That's the part that is attached to the king's palace on the left
Mm,
hand side. Then that's the street that you see, the small one, and on the right
Yes.
hand side, the rest of it. If you are a foreigner and you walk in through the Jewish quarter, you cannot tell that that's the Jewish quarter. I mean, everybody
mm,
looks the same. We're all Moroccans, and
sure.
last visit back in 2019, Imran was still very young, and the people are very hospitable. You cannot tell, a Jew from a Muslim.
Yeah.
Some of them had the Quran recitation in their stores, which is just it's incredible. So
Hmm.
it's amazing, amazing, amazing. Yeah, and
Mhm.
that's the exact. You're in the same location. Yeah, this is still the Jewish
Yep.
quarter. It's
Yep.
beautiful.
Yeah. I remember
And
those windows there. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah, you
So
could recognize by the balconies and the windows. Yes.
yes, and
Hmm.
those windows are that way because at that time people they don't want to show off what they have. They're very
Yeah.
modest. They don't want you to peek to what's inside their houses. But once you go inside the house, and this has happened to me, it looks like it's a beautiful, beautiful garden. Riyadh's houses
Mm.
magical. I mean, from banana trees to citrus trees to water fountains. It's just you cannot tell that that's a house. But those are the old Riyadhs, and it's a
Yeah, 'cause you
beautiful,
can see the
beautiful.
courtyards in the middle. That's neat.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I also wanted to see what Sam, has to say because I know he's full of knowledge, and so if you
Ah.
can
Yeah, I
elaborate.
agree, Azdean. Yeah, the Jewish community in Fes. By the way, many people they just think that's the Jews or Jewish community or Jewish Mellah. It's only in Fes. It's
Mm.
in every corner in Morocco, and there is always um, quarter which is called Mellah. And I don't know. I don't want to give more information about where the name came from or the long history of Jewish community in Morocco,
Mm.
and because Moroccans, most of them are Jews before
Oh, yeah.
they converted, and 1948 most of the Jews they moved to Israel, unfortunately, and
Mhm.
they still have their houses, especially as you just mentioned right now in the Millahs. So all the houses are for Jews, Moroccan Jews. When they
Mm.
moved to Israel, they gave them as gifted to their neighbors, their Moroccan friends and
Mm.
neighbors, especially in each city in Morocco.
Okay.
Also, I just want to add something. I totally agree, Sam, but some that they did not sell, we've seen those houses. Some are a little bit in ruins, but also they have asked their neighbors to take care of their houses. So,
Mm.
one thing they did not like to sell their properties. So, even now, 30 years, 40, 50 years, they came back, they still go to their houses and see the neighborhood they have grown up and
Mm.
visit their parents or grandparents in the cemeteries, and which we have seen the cemetery, which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
a bit closer
Yes. That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
to the Jewish quarter. And I mean, it's just a lot of sentimental. I mean, it's just when you go in, it's very peaceful.
Mm. It's
There's
kind of a
there's
side of a hill. Yeah.
Yes, and there's a lot of very important rabbis that are buried either in the one in Fas or Meknes. So it's the significance, the importance of the cemetery to the Jewish community is very important, whether it's there in Morocco or in Israel or anywhere else.
Mhm.
So it's just beyond incredible, and we were very fortunate to have had Mullah Hafid as a guide, and we did an extensive tour in the Jewish quarter. Then we went to a synagogue. Oh my God, the hospitality, the people, they were just beyond incredible to us and amazing. So it's a very religious site.
Mhm.
And we had that opportunity to go in and really explore and get some really, really behind the scenes and some stories, and it's just incredible. Then
Mm.
from the terrace, you can see it looks right to the Jewish cemetery, and it's just
Yes.
it's a very touching moment. I mean, you will feel it when you do that site, when you do the Jewish quarter, you go to the
Mm.
synagogue, and you go to the roof. I mean, it's beyond incredible. So, and you can tell
Ah, here it is.
This
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
that's
the
right.
place. Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
that's right. This one.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and there's one thing that you will notice. in the Jewish cemetery, no disrespect to any other sites, it's well kept.
Yeah.
It's extremely
Yes.
clean. It's super. Yeah, that's the view that we had actually.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and it's just it's a very very amazing. So when you go into the cemetery, it's open to anybody to go in. And like I said, a
Okay.
lot of families they go, they come in from a lot, especially lately from Israel, to visit their, their families that because they left Morocco 30, 40 years or so ago.
Yeah.
You just pay a little bit of a donation if you could. Then you
Mhm.
go in, and it's well guarded. It's
Well
it's
preserved. Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
It's surprising how green it is. Like the
Yeah.
hills too, but everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. And the cemetery is very clean, by the way.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Very clean and well organized, and you can just especially have a look over the terrace
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
synagogue, and
Yeah.
yeah, enjoy just the nice views from there.
Yes. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's incredible. Yeah. And also, if you
Yeah.
look at the nature, the greenery you have, it's the combination of the Atlas Mountains and the Reef Mountains, and again, Fas is it's the location is extremely important, and it's a
Mm.
very unique location. So
So the Reef Mountains are here north of the city, right?
that's right.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
These
Yes.
are the Atlas Mountains, kind of
Yes.
south,
Yeah.
southeast.
Yes.
Middle
Yes.
Atlas Mountains.
Middle
That's
Atlas,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hilly, but it's still kind of in a valley, I guess, between
Yes.
the two
Yes.
ranges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Huh.
And that's again the irrigation system in Fas was based on those mountains, the Atlas Mountains and the Reef Mountains, and that's everything was underground for the city, and throughout the city they had
Okay.
underground tunnels.
Yeah.
You can still see some of them today, but you have to know where they are to locate
Right.
them. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's a big city nowadays. I read that it's the second largest city in Morocco. Is that accurate? It's just over 1 million people.
I
It
think so
depends
after
on the yeah,
Casablanca.
Because that
the
would make it
statistics of. Sorry. Go ahead.
a little bigger than Marrakesh, but they're probably pretty similar, right?
Oh, it depends on the statistics. Last statistics, which is 2014, I think. The Fes is the second largest with 1.2 million
Okay.
people.
Yeah.
But right now I don't think so. I think Marrakesh is the second one after Fes, after
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casablanca. Sorry. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they do seem fairly
So
similar size. If I
we don't
remember
have
when we were
something
there.
like which is accurate, some statistics
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is correct. No.
Hmm. Yeah, and then you can see, as I say, the new city. So we did
Hmm.
this. Probably a lot of people do when they drive in. You might come from the southeast, but there's a good chance you'll be coming from like Meknes and the big expressway
Yes.
highways, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So you drive in. I remember going through here, these boulevards in the Ville Nouvelle, and it's like big modern buildings and condos and shopping malls and stuff. And then you
Yes.
go around this corner and down the
Yeah.
hill, and
Yeah.
you go back about 600 years.
Yes. That is correct. Yes. Yeah.
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 You can see it
Yeah.
on the map. Yeah. It's very yes.
Yeah, how it's planned, right? The grids, and there's another
Yes.
section down
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And this is the Medina. Yeah,
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I think you guys talked about this in that last episode, but there's that lookout place, the Borj Sud.
Yes. Yeah.
Bord de Sud.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sud, yeah.
The,
And this
the,
is the
yeah, the
view.
southern tower. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The view. Then you have the view from the other side as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Interesting.
southern tower, and there is the other one from the Meriani Towers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a little detour on our, well, we were driving at that point, but a little detour. It is, 10, 15-minute stop, but yeah, you get a
Yeah.
really nice view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fez was the capital. People might know this, but Fez was the capital of Morocco till 1912, and then the French moved it to Rabat. I was wondering, like, it's probably entrenched now, but was there ever talk about them moving the capital back to Fez?
Mm. Now we're talking so
No.
I don't want to say anything.
No. No. I think. I don't think so that it will go back to Fez, because it was in Fez in the beginning with the Idrisi dynasty. Then it's moved to Marrakesh. Then it's moved to the other cities,
Yeah.
Like for
Okay.
example, Meknes, like for example, El Jadida during Muhammad bin Abdullah, for example, he took El Jadida as the capital, not Meknes, for example, to Sawira Muhammad bin Abdullah as well, as the Alawite during the Alawite dynasty.
Mm,
It's because he is the son of Mullah Ismail, the founder of grandson of
Mhm.
Mullah Ismail, which is the founder of Meknes, and he
mm,
did took the Meknes as his capital.
mhm,
So I don't think so. There is many attempts to get it back to Fes during the
hmm,
last century with the king Hassan II, but he insisted that Rabat have to maintain the main political capital of Morocco for now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's a good point, though, because you have these palaces and kind of government buildings in all the big cities, right? I mean, Casablanca and Marrakesh, and Fez is a good example too.
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Rabat as well. Rabat is beautiful. One of the
yeah,
imperial cities, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I really like Rabat too.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was, and actually that's true because we went from Fez straight to Rabat on our way then further south. So Rabat has its older parts for sure, but it's more of a modern city, and you definitely
Yes.
get that contrast going from Fez
Yeah,
Oh,
to Rabat.
yeah,
definitely. Yes.
Yeah,
yeah,
And I think Rabat is more fitted as a capital versus Fes, especially
yeah,
with nowadays and the location. It's
mm,
the capital is exactly what it needs to be. Yeah, in my
yeah.
opinion.
yes, yeah,
All right, so here's a good question we got. Now, essentially, I'm paraphrase a bit, but other cities have medinas, palaces, distinct cuisine, craftsmanship, and across Morocco. What makes Fez more unique, or maybe unique?
Okay. Um, what makes Fes more unique, I would say, number one is the people,
Hmm,
the craftsmanship, the pride that craftsmanship do and take, to learn the skill that is passed through generations.
hmm,
There are certain things that only the Fassi people can really do in Morocco. When we're talking, about ceramic, when we're talking about leather, when we're talking about, even carpets, when we talk about, what else? What am I forgetting? Um,
fashion, fashion
yes,
as well. Yeah,
yeah, yes.
fashion.
Uh,
Yeah,
the other one is Gbassan. I don't know the name of it. Uh,
plaster, the
but
plaster.
yeah, yes,
a
plus I
plaster.
mean
Okay.
it's just the techniques that they use, and it's there's
Yes,
no machine. It's everything is handmade, and
yeah,
again it reminds me of the visit that we did, Sam, in the during the summertime to that shop, to the ceramic shop. I mean, for me that was beyond incredible experience. It was mind blowing. I mean, it was just magical.
Hmm,
Everything they have done, and I mean the tour was just well done,
yeah,
well organized,
hmm,
the steps, making this and that and so forth. Then what fascinating, I mean, it was just one of the most amazing first impressions for me. We had that gentleman greet us, and then he took us to this master ceramic. Well, I forgot the name that he's called, and he made the bottom of the tagine. I mean, live, like in just right there,
hmm.
like in 30 seconds. Then he
Wow.
made the top. There's no measurements. I mean, just by his hand, and then he put the top, in the bottom part, and it fits perfectly. I mean, for me, I was like, this is impossible. But then it took him years and years, and I don't know how many tries, probably hundreds, if not thousands. So that's what really makes Fes, and also Fes holds a lot of Moroccan traditions that in other cities they're gone.
Hmm,
But I also wanted to see what Sam has to say,
hmm,
um,
yeah,
because
yeah.
Fes for me is just it's amazing.
Absolutely. Beside what Azdean just said about Fes, we can talk about food. What
Oh
makes
my
Fes,
yeah.
goodness.
Fes unique, especially when it comes to food, when it comes to especially pastilla or pastilla in Arabic, when it comes to salads, when it comes to pastries as well. Fes is just unbelievable. For example, when it comes to the traditions, especially during the weddings,
Yes.
Fes is unique rather than other cities in Morocco because, as Tim just said, they still keep and still maintain many uh, traditions that is
Hmm.
almost distinct from the other cities in or other parts in Morocco.
Hmm. So the things that only happen in Fez, at least in
Yes.
terms of weddings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
First, I mean, it's first. You could say first. It's probably its own New York. It's
Yeah.
things that they do in Fes, they are very unique, very different, very related to Fes. Even the music is just beyond amazing.
Yeah,
It's incredible. It's very different.
yeah.
Is it
Um,
different instruments or just different
it
ways they
is.
play?
It is different
Yes.
instruments and a different way of singing. It is different lyrics, different. Everything is different. It's just
Yeah.
it's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, talking about the music, for example, which is called the music الملحون. It's a traditional Andalusian Moroccan music.
Mhm.
For example, it exists, for example, in Tetouan, in Tangier, in Chefchaouen as well. But the one in Fes is very unique and very famous. This is why they celebrate the International Festival of
Yes.
Spiritual Music in Fes each year.
Oh, yeah.
I
Hmm.
think around September or the beginning of October each year. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw something about that. The Museum of or the Festival of Sacred Music. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Hmm. We can get some more information. Yeah, interesting. Well, that ties in. There's kind of another question here. It's related that as Moroccans, do you see Fez as like your cultural capital? Does it play that kind of a role more than other cities?
100% for me.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
Yes. Beside Marrakesh, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. I mean,
especially.
if we talk Marrakesh, I would say Marrakesh probably in the 80s. Yeah. But the
Yes.
biggest difference between Marrakesh and Fes is when His Majesty took over, start the king, the new king of Morocco, he opened and he made some changes, especially ownership and real estate for foreigners. In the past, if you're a foreigner, you must have a Moroccan partner. You cannot be
Yeah.
the majority owner. So, and you cannot do it just by yourself. So you always
Right.
have to have a partner. So, King, His Majesty King Hassan the Sixth, I mean Muhammad the Sixth, when he changed that rule, I mean Marrakesh saw, you know, an expansion in terms of real estate. Especially this is the evolution, if you would, of the riyads and becoming more of riyads versus the houses back then, just for local Moroccans. So, and Marrakesh saw a tremendous growth in terms of real estate, and the city started to expand, getting
Hmm.
bigger and bigger and bigger. For me, the city, for me, I still just know some of it in the old days, but now the city has gone, probably triple the size when I
Hmm.
was a kid. So that's the reason why, Sam was talking about, probably Fas is not the second largest, but it's probably Marrakesh also in terms
Yeah.
of expansion. If you look at Fas, Fas is kind of limited with the mountains, the expansion to the mountains versus Marrakesh. You have the north, the south, the west, and the east. You can expand, and that's exactly where you see the growth in
Yeah.
all directions. So, for me, FES, I would say yes, it does hold that title for now. But if we were to compare, a couple of decades ago, I would say definitely Marrakesh. But because of the
Yeah.
growth, because of the expansion, because of the migration to Marrakesh, that has changed for sure.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Especially from 2000 to nowadays, Marrakesh. I agree that still Marrakesh became just unbelievable in terms of expansion, in terms of
Yeah.
new things, new coming things, new
Yeah.
especially buildings. There is two new cities, which is one of called Tamansort and another one called Shuetar. It's two new cities just around Marrakesh.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that was my sense that I found that, well, since we've been doing this show, let's say the last couple of years, you hear more about Marrakesh.
Yes.
Do you think Fez is a risk of being forgotten or something? Or do you, well, here's the thing. Do you find with your tours when people are making inquiries, put their itinerary together, are they showing interest in going to Fez?
Oh, 100%. If the north side of Morocco is part of their itinerary, Fes is a must.
Yeah.
I said this to many people many times, and I mean, I am from Marrakesh, but I love Fes.
Hmm.
And who wouldn't? I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful city. So, and I said this as well. If you have one day to spend in Morocco, spend it in Fes. Some might say
Yes,
Marrakesh, but for me, I would say Fes because it's again when I say Fes, I really mean the culture. I mean the old
the
tradition.
heritage.
Yes,
Yes.
the heritage. It's
Yeah.
everything. Marrakesh is still good. It's an amazing, beautiful, beautiful city, And in terms of tourism, it always ranks every year top five globally
Mm.
every year.
Yeah.
Yes.
But not to take anything away, but Fes is definitely culturally and holding to the culture. Definitely, Fes is more than Marrakesh.
Mm.
I agree, 100%. Because the people of Fez, they just work hard
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
every day and night to
Mm.
keep the city
yes,
the best and to the top.
Yeah.
Just an example, for example, for the entrance fees to the monuments, to the historical monuments in Morocco, they all added extra fees to the monuments except in Fez. In Fez,
Huh.
they kept, yes, they kept it as it is, only $1, $2 as an
Okay.
entrance fees to the historical monuments. Unlike the other cities, they just between $7 to
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
$12, sometimes $15,
Mm.
especially in Marrakesh and Casablanca. Yep.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good. Hmm. I was wondering, like, when you look at the Medina and, it's this labyrinth of streets, and is there any real explanation for how it became just so dense? Like, was there ever any planning or it just kept growing? Like, how is it that complex?
I don't think there was any planning because if you look at back in centuries and centuries ago when the city was being built and all that stuff,
Mm.
nobody thought that Fes would become what it is today. So it's
Mm.
just it's unorganized, it just and that's basically what happened. And you can still see this in I would say in most cities in Morocco. But the difference is the new places that are being built, there's planning for sure. But the
Yeah.
old ones, there's no planning. It just that's how it happened, and
Yes.
it expanded that way. So
Yeah.
Yes, I agree because inside the old Medina you can find like a street that is go just straight like this, and you just sometimes then you find just one
Mm.
goes there and it stops there. So
yeah,
there is no planification ahead of time
Mm-hmm.
for the old Medinas. It's not in Fez, but for the old Medinas in Morocco. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I guess it's just a much bigger scale, it seems, in
yes,
Fez. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
100%, yeah.
yes, yes. The one in
Yeah.
Fas big. I just can't imagine myself just doing a city tour. Just going alone in Fas. I will be lost. I
Yeah.
visited the city as I mentioned last time. I think over 400 times, but
Yeah.
every time I don't know it. I just discovered new things in Fas because Fas is just amazing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And what about the tanneries? Like, how did the tanneries become so substantial in Fez? Because they're really well known.
Yeah, they're very well known. I honestly don't know the answer to that question, but I know the importance of the tanneries in Fes. You can see the effect, you can see the reach. I mean, they
Mm.
ship globally. Anywhere in the globe, you'll see the products from Fes.
Mm.
Leather products. Marrakesh has tanneries as well. They're not as big as Fes. They
Mm.
have good quality, but the quality in Fes is second to none. But the history and how it got to where it is today, I don't really know. So Sam, I'm not sure if you have.
No, I'm not. No, I don't know exactly when it starts exactly, but I know that's for example, as you know, what that we celebrate that during Eid al-Adha, feast of sacrifice and some stuff like that, and
Hmm.
then to keep the skins, so people start to use them to create like uh, we can say like shoes, like handbags and stuff and so on. This is
Mm.
how the idea starts in
Huh.
Fes, especially at the beginning. Then move to Marrakesh. There is also Interudent, which is a city in the western part of Morocco, and also in the north in Titouan.
Okay.
Titouan. There is others in Titouan and Terudent as well. Yeah.
Right. That certainly seemed like if you want to see a tannery and how the whole process works, Fez is the place to go.
100%. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And do you guys know the story of the hat? So here's the thing, because that was my impression. Before I learned all this stuff, like, oh, Fez is the hat, the square hat, right? Which I
Yes.
did look up later. I mean, that was popularized at least in Turkey, in Ottoman Turkey. But there's a connection, I think, in that the hats were made in Fez, the city, or the leather came from there, or something like that. Do you guys know about any of that story?
Sam, I'll let Sam speak because those hats are Moroccans, they are fast. They are not originated in Turkey or anywhere
Yeah.
else.
No,
So
it's the hut originated in Fez, not in Turkey, as I read in book histories, and
Mm.
they are not the same. By the way, if you see that the ones in Turkey and the ones in Morocco is totally different in terms of
Okay.
the shape,
yeah,
because the ones in Turkey is just wide like that, and the ones in Fez is just narrow, and
yeah,
it's a little bit like this.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and it's originally from Morocco. I think there is no interaction between the Ottoman states, the
Mm.
Ottomans or Ottomans civilization in Turkey and in Morocco, because they never been in Morocco,
yeah,
and
yes,
yes,
Mm.
they never interact with the Berbers, especially with the Amazigh people in Morocco. So
Mm.
and as I read in the history books, this hut is originally from Fez, and it's
Mm.
created in Fez. Yeah,
yeah,
So it
and
makes sense
also
that's the name.
yes,
yeah.
and also just to give a little bit of more information, at that time of the Ottomans, they tried to occupy Morocco, and at that time, the king was Moulay Mknes.
Mul Ismail.
Well, Ismail, I keep
Yeah,
forgetting the name. Thank you. So, and that work, kept going for 80 years or so. Fighting the Ottomans on the east and the pirates on the west, and many things were happening at the same time. So probably there was, the Ottomans, they saw the hats at that time because of that, and they tried to make their own. But like Sam said, they are very different, very unique. The ones, in Morocco. Are unique
Mm.
to us, to our culture. The ones that in Turkey, they are a little bit long, pointy, and they look not quite similar, but they are different. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the colors as well. The one in Turkey is black, and the one in Morocco is red.
Okay. Red,
yeah,
red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
refer to the Moroccan flag. Yeah,
yes, red
Huh.
and with the green thing.
yeah, with the green thing. Yes, it's
Yeah,
like Moroccan flag. Yeah,
yes,
green and red. Yeah,
yeah,
Do people still wear them very often these days?
yes,
especially,
yes,
especially in the
Huh?
occasions like
yeah,
in during the weddings, during the feast celebrations, during
Okay.
Ramadan, for example. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Here's another question. How can you tell us more? Sam might know this. I think he talked a bit in that last episode. Can you tell us more about the funduks
Our
and their
fundos.
significance? Or what
Yeah,
is a funduk?
Okay,
yeah. Fondok is like a building, a medieval
okay,
caravanserai building
okay.
designed.
Sam, hold on. My apologies, Sam. The fondok, the name comes similar to funduk. We
Hotel.
say it
Yeah.
in Morocco, we say fnidiq, fndaq, which is a hotel. But these are somewhat hotels, but they are different than hotels. Just to give you an idea, the first level is different than the other levels. But I would like Sam to explain the difference. But I just wanted to give the where the name came from, please. And I do apologize for the interruption.
Yeah, it's okay. So, for is as I said, it's a medieval building designed as an urban hostel uh, uh, for to host commercials travelers, because it's like a meeting point between the caravans to sell their stuff, goods against for no, sorry, gods for for salt, or for example we can say gold for stuff. So
Trade.
the exchange of the gods in the past. So also, as second floor used to be like rooms for the people, the travelers, where they can spend the night, and the first floor used to be like a place to tie their animals, especially horses
Oh.
and
Huh.
donkeys in the past.
Yes. Yeah, and also in each funduk, you'll see a big scale. We've seen this in Marrakesh, and the scale in Marrakesh is gone. And we took a lot of pictures at that place. If you remember, Sam, those
Yes.
the
Yeah.
scale is massive. I mean, it's
Okay,
huge.
so I found this.
This is it.
Yeah,
This
that's
this
right.
is, I believe, in fast, and it's really well kept. And you can
Yes.
see right there. If you can zoom in between those two
Sure.
pillars, right there, right there. So that's a scale where you can see,
Scale,
like
yes.
Sam, you can have gold on one side versus
Uh,
something else on the other side, to do the trade and to measure. and you can see that it's tied up to the second floor. So that here on the first level, that's where the animals are going to be tied up, whether camels, horses. And then the second level or the third level, that's where the rooms for people to stay in, for the guests that are come from the southern part of, sub-Sahara, coming to do trade in Morocco as well. So you can see this. We went to the one in Fas, and it was well kept. It
Mhm.
looks amazing. Then
Well,
the
this is
one,
the Nejarine Museum, which
yes,
Yes, Najar Museum. Yes.
yes.
uh,
Yeah.
So the one in Marrakesh, it's still good, but it's not kept as well as this. And unfortunately, somebody said that that scale in Marrakesh, that somebody sold it to somebody else for a lot of money.
yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
So this is a museum that people can visit, which looks
yes,
beautiful. We didn't
Yes,
make it
the
there, but
Najar Museum. Yes, of
yeah,
wood arts. Yes.
right.
Yeah.
But it's in a funduk, the type of
yes,
building.
yeah, yeah, yes.
Yes.
I see.
And
Okay.
So when you,
after COVID, most of the fondux in Morocco are renovated,
Okay.
restored to be to this state, because in the past was very old. Yes, you can
yeah,
see the old images. This one is the
Yeah.
Najarin Museum of the Art of Wood
Right.
and Crafts. Yes.
Yep. And that's fairly central here. It's highlighted here in the map, so it's close to.
yeah,
Oh
this
yeah,
is all
close to
walking
university. Yeah.
distance. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's cool. You can see the roof there.
yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, I'd heard the name. I didn't really know
Yeah.
what the funduk
yes.
was, so that's good to know. Huh. All right. Well, let's see. We got a couple more things here. Um, let's get into some practical questions for sure. Like, so should visitors always try and stay in the old Medina if possible, or is there any advantages to staying in the new city? Perhaps. Do you guys have opinions on that?
I would say stay in the old Medina. You know, because you really want to feel the city, and the best way is the old Medina is definitely what I would recommend. I mean, everything is walking distance. You can do so many things on your own. Just plan ahead of time and be safe.
Hmm.
Yes, I agree that you stay in the old Medina, because the Riyadh,
Yeah,
which is the iconic, the
Yeah.
authenticity of Moroccan accommodation, they are all in the old Medina, and the atmosphere in the old Medina is totally different than La Nouvelle Ville, or the new city.
Hmm.
So everywhere you go, for example, just when you just walk into your Riyadh, you will enjoy the walls, you will enjoy
yes,
like the lighting in the streets, you will enjoy
Yeah.
the hospitality of the
yeah.
Moroccan people inside the old Medina.
Yes, and
Yeah.
also, you'll be staying at some, 18th century Riyadh, 19th century Riyadh, 17th century Riyadh, and you can't get that anywhere else. So
Hmm.
Fes has some of the most amazing Riyadhs in Morocco, and just
Oh
when you're in
yes,
Fes, take advantage of it.
yes,
It's
yes,
you don't have to stay in one Riyadh all the time, but you can, make a reservation in few if you like. But
Hmm.
also Fes, everything they do, it's very exquisite. The attention to detail is just beyond incredible. Like
Right.
Sam mentioned earlier, when the food. I mean, our last visit, we stayed at Riyadh Ghita. They have gone beyond, above
Yeah. Let's
what's
pull that up.
expected. It's,
Yeah.
and I believe you stayed the same, Ted.
Yeah, we did. I'll
And
find
I
it here.
remember the first time when we had dinner. I mean, the salad looks like it's dinner. I
Yeah.
mean, just those small plates, and then
Yeah.
the food kept coming and coming and coming, and I was like, wow, the hospitality is just it's
yes,
amazing. So
Yeah, that was really neat. That was
yeah,
a
and also,
highlight, just being
yes,
there, because
yes,
you're to the Medina and the alleys and the labyrinth and all that, and I mean
yes,
it's fun. It can be a little claustrophobic because
yeah,
it's quite dark, even in the middle of the day, right? And
yes,
the sun
yes,
doesn't get quite down there, and all the rest. And
yes,
then, but you get back to one of your riads, and a lot of them would be like this. But this place was incredible. It's beautiful. It's just such a sanctuary in the
yes,
Medina. It's
yeah,
quiet. It's safe. It's peaceful, and you
yeah,
get up on the roof. So this is it. I remember that we kind of drove in here initially, and
yeah,
here's a good thing to know though, because I mean you can't drive. You rarely drive right up
yeah,
to the door of a
yes,
riad, right?
yeah,
You have
yeah,
to walk. So it's good when one great advantage, of course, of going with you guys anyways on your tours is that you'll always put people in riads if at all
yes,
possible. It's not
yeah,
going to be a big group tour that has to stay in a hotel.
yeah,
you'll stay in a Riyadh. So
Yes.
you'll make sure that the transport gets you as close as possible. We would have parked right about here, walked up this
Yes.
alley, and this is Riyadh Gita here. And
Yeah.
I remember we would hang out in the mornings or the late afternoon on the rooftop patio here,
Yes, yeah,
looking out
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
the
yeah,
Medina. It's really cool. And like you hear all the hustle and bustle and then
yes,
everything
yes,
and the smells and so on down below, but we're up
Yes.
in our little
yes.
cloud above the Medina. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really neat, and we did the same thing. I mean, the dinner we had it at the terrace. It was just incredible experience. Then we got
Hmm.
to know the staff. You know, the ones
Yeah.
that not on vacation because some they go on vacation during summertime, so they
Mm.
were super nice to us. We got to know the maids. We got to know the people in the kitchen because we did a cooking class. It was just we felt like uh, we are part of their family, and it was just really,
Yeah.
really, really neat. Yeah.
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 Hmm. I'll try to pull up some pictures here. The inside is beautiful too. Like you have this big
Yeah, especially the
what are we can
zillage, the fest
yeah.
tiles inside
Yeah.
the Riyadh, especially in the
Yes.
Yeah.
patio of the Riyadh is just
And,
amazing.
here's the thing that I would like to add for Riyadh Ghita, if I may, please.
Yeah, sure.
Um, you know, um, the Riyadh is not big. Most Riyadhs are not really big, but
Hmm.
it's very personal experience. It's very intimate experience. And I remember the guys will wait for us until we come back
Oh
from
yeah. Yeah.
outside. They're still
Yes.
up waiting for us and say, "Hey, can we serve you dinner now?" And
Mm.
then they'll ask us in the morning. I mean, there were 10 of us in the tour, and they'll ask us, what time would you like your breakfast to be served? So, for
Hmm.
example, I would say 9:30. Sam would say 8 o'clock. So each one of us will have his own or her own breakfast made to their specification. But they don't serve one breakfast all at one time,
Yeah.
or you can because we are
Yeah.
tired. I mean, we're very tired traveling
Yes.
and doing all kind of stuff. So that was kind of really unique and neat. So if somebody's early morning person, they want to have their breakfast at 7:30, they can. And they can
Hmm.
go and just relax and do whatever they want to do until everybody finishes. Then we can start the tour. So which is it was
Yeah.
very special stay for us. So we really
Hmm.
enjoyed it and we're very grateful. So.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place to stay. All right, let's see if I can get this here. So it's worth seeing what the inside of this place is like.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
There
Yes,
it is.
yes.
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 I
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You see that room straight ahead, the one that one,
Yeah.
and that one on
On the
top,
main
and
floor?
then yeah, I stayed in both of those.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was very, very unique, very nice. And then on the left hand side, that's the table where we'll have our
Yeah.
breakfast or
Yeah.
lunch. Then
Yeah,
dinner we'll have it in the terrace.
right.
And
Okay.
actually, yeah, a lot of good memories. Thank you, Ted. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
so
Yeah,
this is our table here. These
yeah,
books were yeah, it's
Yes.
behind these books, yeah.
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 And I
Yeah.
think this is our room. We were on the top floor, so it's probably these two windows way up at the
Yes,
top.
yes,
And this is the fountain inside in the
Yeah.
yeah,
patio.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. And here's the terrace. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The view from the terrace at nighttime, especially when there's the moonlight, a full moon,
Mhm.
it just the city looks so bright and so beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is,
And these rooms are palatial. It's
yeah,
amazing.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good one.
The,
So this is a good sample. Well, this
the
Yes, yes,
ceilings, the
wood,
wood,
yeah.
the wood of the ceilings is just
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Check this
yeah.
Yeah.
out. Yeah. This is our room. This is our room. I remember this
Oh,
cabinet
wow.
here. Yeah.
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 Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So hey, it's nice to give people like this is what you get when you stay there.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's cool. All right. Well, let's see here. What else we got? That's the time. A couple more minutes. Oh, this is a good question. Should tourists consider flying into Morocco directly into Fez? There's an international airport. Is that worth considering? How big is it? Do you ever start any of your tours there?
That's a really good question. Yes, we do recommend them to fly to Fes if they are coming from Europe.
Okay.
If they are coming from Europe, and we can start the tour in Fes, you know, yes, yeah,
Yeah. There is the international boat international flights because the Fez airports, I think, is the fifth, fourth or fifth largest airports in Morocco after Casablanca, Marrakesh, Tangier, Rabat. Sorry, I think
Hmm.
it's the fourth is Tangier or Fez. I don't exactly remember, but the airport is outside the old Medina. By the way, it's like 25 minutes drive from the old Medina,
Oh yeah.
and there is it's also low cost flights and international flights as well
Yeah.
from the
Okay.
whole world. Yeah.
Oh, well, is that is so? It is possible from the United States to fly there.
I'm not
Maybe
sure,
There
to
will
be
be
honest.
there will not right now, but there will be international flights from US to Fes, but not now, not
yeah.
nowadays. It will be in the future because they extended the airport.
Okay.
Okay. Talking about this, I just want to mention something really quick. You can fly to Casablanca directly from Miami, and from Washington D.C. and also from New York. And there's a direct flight from Canada as well. I
Hmm.
forgot the
I think from
detail of the
Montreal.
airport.
Yeah.
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 Now there's United is starting a line from New York to Marrakesh.
Hmm.
So it's a direct line from New York to Marrakesh, and this line is going to be in October 31st, and then they're gonna have, I believe, three flights a week. I can be mistaken. It's either Tuesday or Thursday, Saturday and Sunday. So, and then afterwards, it's gonna be there'll probably be more flights going to Marrakesh from New York.
Hmm.
So, but you can just remember how nicely I spoke about Casablanca Airport. So,
Yes. Yeah.
so I'm
It,
I'm beyond thrilled and beyond happy that this is happening.
Another option.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, same. So for me, I hope so. That's they move all of them international flights from Casablanca to Marrakesh because there is
Yeah.
just
This is the first episode, then.
Okay, so then think let's take it a step further. So can do people fly often between Marrakesh and Fez once you're in the country, or maybe vice versa? Now, I know you guys have set up some of your new small group tours to incorporate that, depending on the itinerary. Save some time because you can see from the map, like to go from Fez, basically the fastest way is the expressway, right? All the way down through here to Marrakesh, and that's 5 or 6 hours or something. So to drive, so much faster to fly. Do a lot of people do that?
I would like Sam to elaborate on this because this is something that we discussed for a long, long time, and we did quite a bit of homework and research on it, and we actually implemented it in our group tours, and then we removed it, and I'll
Okay.
tell you why. Um, Especially when you're doing fast and you're gonna go to either Marrakesh or you're going to Merzouga and stuff. Um, it's really important to fly. I mean, obviously, it's you save a lot of time, but also logistically, it's going to be very challenging for us, especially when it comes to luggage.
Mm.
And we talked, to the airlines. There's two. There's the Arabia airline, then there's Royal Air Morocco. But that's the challenge. It's definitely going to be the luggage, because those flights they're not going to give you a lot of freedom to have, like you're traveling internationally. But then everybody that we work with, they're coming from, international, and most of them they have more than a carry-on. You see, and
Yeah.
it's just it's going to create a really massive issue for us. So we dropped it, but we would include in it in the small group itineraries. So
Okay.
now we don't have it. We just have the drive from
Mhm.
from Fez to Marrakesh. But also would like Sam to because I know he has a
yeah,
lot to say about
yes,
this
yeah.
topic. Please, Sam.
Yeah, starting from January 2024, there is a new company that is doing a domestic or internal flights in
Oh,
Morocco. It's Ryanair.
oh,
Yes.
If you
Ryanair.
know,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ryanair, yes. And there
Huh.
is many lines between the big cities, between Marrakesh, Fez, between Marrakesh, Tangier, Casablanca, Ouarzazate.
Hmm.
El Rashidia, for example,
Yes.
and so on and so forth. But as Azdean said, Ryanair, for example, is a
Yeah.
Yeah.
low cost company. Air Arabia is a low cost company. The Royal Al Morocco is very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's beyond expensive. You can find the flights for like $500 between Marrakesh and Fez,
Hmm.
which is not fair. And this is why we dropped them from our small group tours itineraries as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, I guess maybe it's something. Could people, if they incorporate it into their itinerary and have the time, then because mostly it's the luggage, I guess. But can someone still request that? Say
Yes.
I would
Yes.
be happy to fly, and that's not a
Yeah.
group tour, but a private tour, a family or something. We'd
Yes.
rather fly from Fez straight to Marrakesh.
100%. Yes. First to
Oh,
Marrakesh with the Adun Marzouga, first to Rashidia,
Yes.
okay.
and yeah, and we can have a different car meeting them either in Marrakesh or in Rashidia or where's
Uh,
is it? So yeah, yes,
okay.
If it's private, we can do it. It's very
yeah,
easy because there is always a driver assigned to our customers,
Right.
for example, and they can take care of the luggage and they can fly it from airport to another. Let's see, from
Yep.
El Rashidia to Fez. So the driver will take care of the luggage and just can take their carry-on
yeah,
at the airport. Else,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
maybe in the future, if something changed with the low cost, for example, we will see and we will configure something out
Hmm.
to use the internal flights, for example, from Fes to Marrakesh and from Fes Casablanca,
Yeah.
maybe for example to Merzouga or Casablanca to Dakhla or to
yeah,
Laayoune. Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds like it's evolving, and it kind of comes back more broadly, as the World Cup comes and other
yes,
big events. Like, there's
yep.
going to be a lot more of that infrastructure and things set up.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
The last question I have here is about the climate, or essentially what to wear, and what is the climate like in Fez? What is the best time of year to visit?
Oh, summertime is very hot. Yeah, so it's very very hot. I did not really know that the temperature can get that hot in Fast. But
Mm.
it gets really, really hot. And the difference between the heat in Fes and Marrakesh for me is in Fes you feel like you're a little bit suffocating. It's kind of
Mhm.
hard to breathe. But Marrakesh is still a little bit different. It's nicer heat in Marrakesh than Fes.
Mhm.
The best time
Yeah.
to visit is it's the same really. Springtime. March, April, May. September, October, November,
Yeah.
first 2 weeks of December. Yeah, so
Does it get very cold there in the winter?
it does. Yeah, because of the
Yes.
mountains. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
It's close to the snowy mountains,
yes,
snowy peaks of the Middle Atlas, especially Mishlifen. There is a ski resort not far from us in Ifren,
Right.
and it's very very cold during
yeah,
summer during winter,
Mm.
but it's not for a long time. For example, it could be like for a month or a month and a half. That's it. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But I suggest to visit it during, as Dean said, spring because summer is just because first it's just inside
yeah,
like if you get
Yeah,
inside the
in a
hall,
bowl. Yeah.
yeah, in a ball. So it's so hot during
yeah,
the
yes,
summer. Yeah.
yes.
Do you get any air conditioning?
Yeah, there's air conditioning. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for
Yes.
sure. Yes, I
There is in
mean,
cars. There is in the
yeah,
accommodations. Yeah.
Okay.
Restaurants.
it's just walking. It's
Walking.
it's
Yes.
a hilly
Yes.
city. There's a lot of walking,
Yes.
especially when you're
Yes.
doing the tour. And
Yeah.
if you look at the when we did the cooking class, we did it around 11 a.m. I think we got back to the Riyadh maybe around 12:30. But I think I was wearing similar T-shirt to this one, and it looked really soaked up. I didn't
Yeah.
feel that I was sweating, but
Yeah.
it looked really wet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mm.
No,
Hmm.
walking in the Medina is especially for the city to walking to Rifes. It's very hard during summer.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know. Yeah, if people make an increase and want to know the best time.
Yeah.
Hmm. Does that
Absolutely.
make it busier in the spring in terms of tourists in the spring or fall? What's the busiest time for tourists?
March,
Yeah.
April, May, and September, October, and November. Yes.
Hmm. So you might
The
have to
other
book
season, and of course, the peak season is the end of the year as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
around the holidays.
yes, yeah.
Yes.
Christmas,
Yes.
New Year's, yeah.
Christmas. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. So I guess the answer is just to book as far ahead as you can to have the best selection.
Yes, I would say, especially for
Yes.
the end of the year, Christmas, the holidays. Because people they think, oh, it's a Muslim country. No, there's a Muslim. It is a Muslim country, but there's a lot of celebrations at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Year celebration is big for Moroccans everywhere, and I remember this, even being as a kid.
Mm.
So it's no different if you're trying to go at that time. Give yourself an average of 6 months to 9 months. That way you
Yes.
get really really good rates, and also
Mm.
you have choices because sometimes you wait too long. They don't have any single rooms or double rooms. They have suites, and suites can
Oh
cost
yeah.
three
Yes.
times
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, yeah. Just plan ahead and save a little bit more. Yeah.
Sure.
So
Cool. Okay. Well, this has been good. It's been really nice to reminisce and get back to Fez.
uh,
Inspire people to go. It's different. It really part of this geography, as I say, the hills, the size and the scale of the Medina. Yeah, the culture and the food, like it feels different. It's a different experience. So I really hope people get the chance to experience it.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. So thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Thank you.
We've got our next regular podcast episode will be an excerpt of the walking tour that you guys did when you were there,
Yes,
which I know is quite long. That may end up being 2 or 3 parts, but at least we'll have one of those parts in our next episode. So you'll
absolutely.
really get to hear you guys walking around on the streets right there in the Medina. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
looking forward to it. Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
also, by the way, Ted, thank you so much. I listened to all the episodes, and one that it's done a little bit different, and I really really enjoyed it is the Gnawa
yeah.
music.
That was fun.
No
Yeah,
music. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you have not listened to it, it's a beautiful, beautiful episode. And at the
Mm.
end, the music that you hear, it's us. That you can hear Sam talking, you can hear Imran talking as well.
Yeah, it's
And
cool.
Yeah.
Imran, he
Yeah.
was with me. I was holding him and doing the interview. So when
Yeah.
when when Muhammad said, "I've been doing this since I was 8 years old," I was like, "Oh, I'm 8." So,
Yeah, yeah,
but it's so funny. But the music, the way that you put everything together, it just came out. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
thanks.
Incredible. I loved it. I loved it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a fun episode. It's nice getting something a little different when I purposely let the music play for a bit longer, more than like
Yes, yes.
30
It was
seconds.
it
And
was
here
it
it
was
Yes.
really
starts.
great. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love the music. Yeah.
yeah, there he is. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, so definitely, people head to our website. You can find the podcast in any of the apps. It's all the episodes are there. If you go to the website and the link is there at the top, destinationsmorocco.com/podcast, you can easily sort through. It's a bit more user friendly to go through all those past episodes and choose the ones that are interesting. And each episode has its own page. You get links and other resources within each one. So lots of great information there, and of course about the offers that you guys have for your tours and the itineraries and things that you put together. So it's
Yes.
all there on the
Yeah.
site.
Yes. You can see that we have a really good selection of private tours that are
Hmm.
pre-made. Then also we have a small group tour section. And those tours, the small group tours, it's going to be between 8 people to 12 people, no more. And also they are guaranteed departure, which means if
Mm.
there's 2 people that are booking, those 2 people will go for that tour. So
Hmm.
it's the minimum 2 people they can go for the tour, and it becomes really like a private tour more than a
Yeah.
small group tour. So and the reason why we're having the small group tour is because we want to keep the accommodations in Riyadh. So we still
Yeah.
want you to feel that it's very intimate experience. It's very unique experience. It's a beautiful experience. So that's what I would recommend in terms of value. The value is really in the small group tours.
Mhm.
You'll save an average between $900 per person to about $1,200 per person.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend looking into those. And again, you can reach us, set up an appointment. We're here to answer any questions for you, me and Sam, and the rest of the team. And thank
Yep.
you so much. Thank you.
That's great. All right. Thanks,
Thank you
guys. We'll
so much.
see you
Thank
next
you so
month.
much, Ted.
Thank
I
you. Thank you.
appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Azdean.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.